Welcome back to the Brew Crew Podcast, everyone. This is episode 188 here, remote again, but always a fun time when we can do this virtually. I guess welcome from wherever you are.
Well, I'm coming to everyone from Minneapolis right now. We've got a fun story. We actually did have beer planned. It just kind of got lost in translation a little bit, and I didn't have the opportunity to snake it into my luggage for the trip coming up. But that will be for a later date. But it doesn't matter. We still have beer.
We still have beer. Oh, look at you, Dogfish Head. Yeah, the beer we had for today was donated by Chuggalos Stev, so I'm going to keep him as the Can Art Boner sponsor.
But we need to correct that. So the standing Can Art Boner sponsor is Chuggalo Pete.
Chuggalo Pete.
And I was corrected on that 12 hours after we went live last week.
Yeah, that was quick. So we'll give him his due because he did sponsor the Can Art Boner segment. So we'll give him the privilege of being it this week. So Stev, my apologies for misspeaking. You'll get that when we do your beer. So I don't have beer news. I have a beer topic, but I think we can discuss it after the review just to make sure that there's time.
Yeah, the important thing is, so we'll just rapid fire we won't do like the typical deep dive that we do.
Yeah.
So I'm kicking off today with Dogfish Head Namaste. But the big beer news is because I'm in Minnesota right now. Minnesota is one of the last states that has a growler law. What a growler law means is if you produce under 20,000 barrels per year, you cannot fill growlers on premises. That's working its way through. Probably by the time you hear this, somebody, a lot of Minnesota people are going to tell me it's either been repealed or redacted. So a lot of the big producers, you can buy cans and stuff on premises. But as we're in the age of people liking to have, I have a couple of my own growlers. I think JT joins me in that group too, and we'll take them to breweries. Minnesota is one of the last states where you weren't able to get growlers filled, and it was a really archaic reason for why having it. I encourage the Chuggalos to go pursue that information, but hopefully it gets repealed, and a lot of the craft brewers in the Minnesota area would be able to take advantage of those patrons that come in with their own growler.
Yeah, that's just a kind of a weird law. They're not a blue law state though, so that you can't really call that a blue law, right?
I see. This is a fun thing. I attribute all dumb beer laws to just being all blue laws.
Yeah,
it's interesting because one of the bars in Wisconsin, they open up at 6 a.m. and that's just a relic of how they're coded as a business. And that just came the You Betcha guy. I think a lot of our listeners listen to that. Well, that bar is located less than 2 miles from my childhood home. And I was very well aware of it because we have a very sizable manufacturing hub. So the reason why that bar it was people getting done with that shift, but more importantly, they would also cash checks. So historically, before direct deposit, it became a bastion of work blue collar culture because a lot of the men and women that worked at said manufacturing plant would just go there, cash their checks, and have a couple of barley pops, for doing so.
Man, I remember that's crazy. I remember cashing checks, work checks.
Yeah.
You had to have enough in your account to cover the whole check.
Yeah.
When you cashed it, which was crazy. And people back then used to carry cash around.
Or like both our moms. I'm gonna guess that Chuggalo mom did this, but played beat the check. So they would go buy groceries like 2 days ahead of time, and even though that check would run it through that that machine or whatever, like they're like, I know I'll have money in the account, but I need groceries now. So then you play beat the check.
Yep, totally understand that. We used to play when I was in the Navy. My wife and I used to play. Wait until midnight on payday to walk into the store. But we don't do that anymore. But yeah, I'm not sure if my mom did or not. She can comment.
I'm gonna guess yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess yes. Yes, sometimes.
Oh yeah, I wasn't like every week. So what I'm drinking right now is I'm kind of looking it up right now is a beer I've never had before. So it's Dogfish Head, Namaste Belgian White. I just cracked this as we started the podcast, and this is going down quite smooth. This is a Belgian style wheat ale with orange flesh and peel. Important.
Whoa.
Because that's how you differentiate. When people say orange, that might not be a difference enough because peel, especially with like the blue moon craze starting about 15 years ago, people want that garnish. People want that wedge. But this is made with both because you get the sugariness of the flesh of the orange and then the tartness of the peel.
Mm. They want the garnish. I don't know. That's
Unneeded.
I don't.
It takes too long. It's like the Corona.
Yeah.
You can justify the Corona because Corona is a meddling beer anyways, and the lime lifts it a little bit.
Mm.
But like with, it's like cooking fancy, you know, I don't need parsley on the plate. I'm not eating the parsley.
Right.
It just,
yeah.
It's the 10 or 15 seconds that it takes to do that it's not on my plate and being in my mouth.
What a waste. Like, do they still even do that?
Yeah, parsley for sure. Oh yeah.
Oh, all right. I haven't seen it in a while. But yeah, I don't want that shit. Keep it. I started with Busch Light as I normally do. I did get the new John Deere can.
There we go. That was going to be my first question. Otherwise, I was going to be very heated.
Yeah. This is not one of them. This was from spring. The John Deere cans just came out, I don't know, a month ago maybe.
Yep.
They're for farmers. Support the farmers.
Can I do something? It's going to be sort of a screen share. If I can find it, I should have brought it up before because I took a picture and I sent it to my wife. So now I gotta. So anyways, my in-laws last week. I didn't bring this up because we had a lot to talk about last week. My in-laws came to town, and I want to stock my fridge up because I only had like a 12-pack of Miller Lite in the fridge. And Stacy goes, "Hey, pick up some Miller Lite." So I went to Sam's Club and I was picking up some other stuff. And do you ever hate that on your phone? Like when you take a picture, but this one I put it into Google Chat. So it only exists in Google Chat. It doesn't like exist in my camera. So now I'm scanning through it, but I'm telling an awesome story at the same time. So I get
That's good and bad.
Yes. I get to Sam. It's frustrating. So I get to Sam's Club and I'm like, okay, so I have it planned out. I'm a pretty planned out individual. And I get there and then this is the Miller Lite. So you got Coors Light still available, Bud Light still available. Right behind this on the other side, there's still Bud Light and Coors Light. Guess what's in the middle? Miller Lite.
Miller.
And my father-in-law, he'll drink whatever, but obviously you want to cater to your guests and be a good host. There was no Miller Lite. So again, I still had a 12-pack and we survived. He was able to, I just didn't touch Miller Lite. But again, so Miller Lite preferred out of the big three, I think we would say. Even though on this podcast we're big proponents of Busch Light, out of the big three, Coors Light, Bud Light, Miller Lite is preferred by most of the listeners. If you give those three choices, definitely Miller Lite, then 2 Coors Light, and then far distant, often the Horizon Bud Light.
Yep. We are definitely Bud Light or Busch Light, and I think I bring this up quite often because I'll drink Busch Light out in public. Not at a bar because I'll get a craft beer, but I think Busch Light's making a pretty big comeback. The people around town where I live are adopting Busch Light like I did not expect. It's like wildfire, really. They also do drink Corona, which I don't like. So you gotta give them some, take some, whatever.
Again, you're making a statement, but are you making the right statement? And they're pushing. Corona's pushing. With Snoop Dogg and who's the Andy Samberg. If you ever see me out in the wild and they have it, I had one of these with you, JT.
Yeah, you did.
This happened to be with mine and my wife on our date night.
Nice.
Same place.
Same place.
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah. What night was that? Because I was there recently.
After
we went. It doesn't matter.
That was so actually it's funny. So she just got done with work early. So this is spouses, men, women, everyone alike. this is actually a good beer topic. So my wife got done with work early last week, Thursday, and she goes, "Hey, can you meet me for lunch?" And I will say this for myself, and I want to include JT, but he's a little more important. So he's got a lot more things that depend on him. Where me, I'm not as important. So the wife goes, "Hey, can you get done at 11 o'clock?" And that's like, yes, whenever, because
Easy.
she can't get done early often. So we ended up going, she's like, "Well, let's go to," and this is just a beer conversation. She's like, "Let's go to Wandering Griffin." I go, "That's smart because they have a patio," but she's like, "I want to eat." And I go, "Well, it's expensive for what you get." And they make the effort there, but I don't know, again, with the traction with Wandering Griffin. It's a local brew pub. They make their own beer in Beaver Creek, Ohio.
Yeah.
So I go, "Who are we kidding? Let's just go see Tam Tots at King's Table." And of course we end up there. And it's a slower day, so we have a lot of opportunity to talk to Tam Tots. And this goes back to relationship building.
Yeah.
If you have a good bartender, and Stev would probably, I would put Stev on this echelon too. You can get there, and one, they'll either have a beer poured for you before you get to your seat, because they'll know. Or for me with Tam Tots, I always have her pick my first one. And out of the 3 dozen times, she's only missed once where it's been a terrible suggestion.
Yeah.
And so that's a pretty high batting average. So I just think that's really a nice luxury to have. It says other things about you too, that you have a relationship with somebody like that.
Yeah.
But I just think that that's super powerful. So one, the ability to just day drink and just go have lunch with your spouse where you don't have to worry, the kids are taken care of. They're either at school or daycare, or maybe you're a dink and don't have kids. That ability is so nice where you don't have to organize the ancillary stuff. Don't you agree?
I do agree. I don't know about the non-kids thing, but my kids are at the age now where they can just be left alone, or they can come home from school on their own.
But they're at school in this
type of stuff. Yeah, you don't have to organize anything. You just say, "Let's go." Right. That's the best. Yeah,
and not planned out, spontaneous. The weakness in mine and JT's relationship is I'm a planner. I'm pretty regimented, and JT's more the spontaneous. So it's nice that when the planner can even have the spontaneous, there's something spun on them, and they're like, "Yep, can go, good to go."
Yeah, I don't plan anything. That's probably to a fault. That's okay, because I'm in a job now where I have a lot of meetings, but I don't have to schedule any of them. They're scheduled for me.
Right.
And I just show up on Teams or Zoom. So that's good. That's what I need to do, because I'm bad at just organizing time.
That speaks to your value, though. For me, I have to schedule things to be important. Things are scheduled for you because you are important.
It's really a lose-lose situation. Let's just put it that way. Meetings suck.
Did you?
But some people love them.
In current news, did you see the 2 times that Wrigley
I was going to bring this up myself.
Okay, I'm glad. So I'll let you take it off.
Well, no, I was going to play on your Tam Tots only struck out once. Speaking of strikeouts, that was my segue.
That's a good segue.
We talked about this about, I don't know, a year ago, probably last season. We showed a little video. It got copyright infringed.
The only time that we've been DCMA'd.
Yeah, DCMA'd. Yeah. The cup snake at Wrigley Field is becoming wildly popular. Although I will say, and I probably said it at the time, the cup snake has been a tradition in the bleachers at Wrigley Field. It's only becoming popular now because of social media, but they've been doing the cup snake for forever. But recently in the bleachers, they were building cup pyramids.
Yeah.
So there's
which is impressive.
Not common, but if you get the bleachers, because the bleachers are just that bleachers, they're long seats with no dividers.
Yeah.
If you find yourself at a game that's not sold out and you have the bleachers in front of you, you just start stacking cups up. That's what these people did. And some usher just came by and just wrecked it, just fucked it up.
What's the verdict on that, dude? Speaking as a Cubs fan, speaking as a bleacher creature, what happens to that dude?
That Usher?
Yeah, the usher.
Nothing.
Like, is he booed though? Like,
oh yeah, he's booed. He's booed, but he doesn't care. He's mad. You could tell in the video. The thing is to some people that's just they're having a good time at a rare Cubs game that they go to. But that guy goes to all the Cubs games because he works there. So he sees this shit every game. So by now, June, he's fucking sick of it. That's why he didn't even hesitate to just knock that shit over. He didn't ask him to take it down or anything. He just knocked it over.
Do you think he took it upon himself, or do you think someone a Karen or a Chad went and complained?
I don't think anyone complained.
I agree.
Field, the bleachers are the mean streets of Wrigley Field. You go there, you have to know what you're getting when you go to the bleachers. You don't bring kids to the bleachers. And if you do, you just got to deal with the fact that the kids are going to see and hear things that they shouldn't.
Right.
And if you're a older woman with a crush on a certain center fielder, you should be prepared to receive slack or flack or whatever. You can't sit in the bleachers as if you should build a fucking beer pyramid or a beer-mid, as I called it in my notes.
Yeah, it's oddly specific scenario, but I can appreciate as a number one bleacher creature such as yourself would take such a story, like that.
Yeah.
Take it to that detail.
My spot on the Cubs season ticket waiting list came up this year. I had to pass. Unfortunately, I'm really still upset about it. But I was going to do bleachers, 2 bleacher seats.
Do you have the opportunity to buy a certain game number of tickets, or do you have to buy 81 tickets?
You can buy, there's 3 packages.
Okay.
You can do, I think one's like half a season, and the other one is just weekends. And then I think there's like a 15-game pass, but that's not even season tickets at that point. You're just buying 15 games.
So Great American Ballpark has their smallest package is 17, and we've flirted with buying it.
Yeah, I also contacted the Reds about season tickets. They were less. I wanted to feel like, wow, I'm someone who can buy season tickets now.
Yeah.
And the Cubs treated me like I was this like special person, even though I was 40,000th on the waiting list when I signed up. I did for the Reds. They were just like here, and it was just like this email that just had a bunch of links in it. They're like, go find what you want and buy it. And I was like, oh, all right. I guess I'm not special here.
It was like having the Amex Black Card where, like, you pick up the phone, it rings once, and they guarantee you're going to talk to somebody versus if you would like a call back in the next 3.5 hours, press 47.
That was exactly what it was. And I was like, nah. And the prices were the same as the Cubs.
Yeah, and the Reds are hurting this year. They need people.
And it's not, the experience just isn't there at Great American.
Yeah. It's a gorgeous park.
Why would I sit in the outfield? Oh, it's a great park. They do have the fireworks on Fridays, which is nice. But I'm not going to pay that kind of money to watch the Reds.
No. And probably only get maybe 1 or 2 Cubs games because you're not getting divisional games in those packages for the most part.
Not in the packages, no. But if you get the season tickets, obviously you will.
Yeah.
But yeah,
because again, I looked at the 17 and I was like, the likelihood of getting Brewer games is, granted they don't travel as well as Cub fans, but I've been there for a couple Brewer games.
Yeah, I could put that season tickets together, all 81 games probably for cheaper than what I'd buy it as a package. You just go on StubHub and do it.
Right.
Anyway,
just make it happen.
So Wrigley Field, stop this shit. Just let them do it. Now, if it gets on the field, that's when I understand.
Right.
That. Don't let the cups fall onto the field. But the beer snake, it's not hurting anybody. It's a beer snake.
Did they stop the beer snake too?
I know there's a rule now. I'm not sure if they're stopping it. But there's a rule. No more beer snakes.
Dumb. That's the culture.
You can't help it, though. You drink a beer, first inning, get another beer, second inning.
It's impressive how many. It's so impressive.
And by the time you know it, you got all these. You're just alone with 5 beers stacked together. You're like, oh, this would look pretty cool with 10, and it just keeps going from there.
Yeah, I mean that snake is easily 1,000 cups plus.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you get a good weekend Cubs Cardinals game. That thing's gonna be 5,000 cups strong.
Yeah, and then $12 a piece, $10 a piece.
Yeah.
Like
they're making enough money to let a beer snake go by.
Right.
Let's let it happen.
It's part of what's going on, especially blowouts and shenanigans.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. So you got your own beer. I got my own beer. All right. Let's get them.
All right. That was my first one. Was the that
was your first one? Are you gonna rate it?
Yeah. So off the top rope, it's something different again as a Belgian white. Nothing here nor there. I love Dogfish Head. Their Festina Peach is one of my favorite beers. Off the top rope, 3.5.
Nice.
The nice thing about your volume is even when you were walking away, I heard you still the same volume. So is your volume through your
It's all in the headphones. Yeah.
It's PFM. I'll never understand that magic.
It's pretty awesome. All right, I got so I'm not going to rate the Busch Light. I thought we were just going with our starter beers, and now I realized what you were saying.
No. It just happened to be my starter beer. I just grabbed 3 from the office.
All right, so since we're not doing the crack, I'll just crack this open. But I have the Afternoon Quickie by Oozlefinch, and we've had Oozlefinch on this podcast, I think, twice before. This one is supposed to be like a Nesquik strawberry, which was always the grosser of the Nesquik flavors.
Amen.
But for a child, awesome. Now there is a Nesquik powder and a Nesquik syrup for both the chocolate and the strawberry, and of course the syrup is more disgusting than the powder, more disgusting than the chocolate. But we're gonna see how this beer goes. I don't know if I need to roll this or anything, but Randy Orton got me one of these, and I don't know if this is the one he got me or the one that I already had in my fridge, but got one for Crispy Crunchy Shell. But we'll call this the Randy Orton version, so we'll do the can art boner for him. So I'm sorry, Chuggalo. Don't tell me. Chuggalo Pete.
Good job.
Yeah. All right. You got your thing in art, in can art. So previously, I guess we skipped it. How are we gonna make this up to him? Should we send him some can art?
I give him a lot of like most of my friends. I give them a lot of expensive beer.
Oh, that works. Oh, this is bad.
I almost like this better one-sided because if it's bad, it's like, oh.
Ooh, that was bad. Yeah. Holy moly. It is like having a stroke or something. Oh.
This is great content. Oh, this is bad.
It's very thick. I hope this isn't like spoiled. Is there milk in here? Oh man, I don't even want to keep drinking this.
This is awesome.
It's a sour ale with strawberry puree, strawberry Nesquik, which contains natural and artificial flavors, and beet juice for color. It's 6%. Fort Monroe, Virginia. Like I said, we did Oozlefinch twice before, I believe. Head brewer Rachel Howard. So there's a female head brewer. That's cool. And here's the Can Art Boner segment brought to you by Chuggalo Randy Orton. It is a bird. I believe Nesquik is some sort of bird.
It's a bunny rabbit.
Oh, it's a rabbit?
Yeah.
I thought that was Trix.
No.
All right. Well, this is a bird with a tongue, long tongue, wrapped around a straw. Got a hand grabbing the Nesquik. Oh, this one is a bird in a rabbit suit. See, that's a rabbit suit. That's being peeled off.
That looks like that's what the Nesquik bunny is.
Okay.
Yeah.
It has a beak. The Nesquik bunny has a beak. Anyway, I don't know. There's something going on with this beer. Look at the top of it is just not good. It's like all caked on there.
It's like bubbling like a cauldron, like a witch's cauldron.
What the fuck is going on here?
Rachel Howard's cauldron.
This beer is weird, dude.
It reminds me of that. What's that beard? Your beard is weird. The Emmett Smith, Willis Reed, and who else is in that commercial?
Russell. Guy. His last name's Russell.
Bill Russell? No,
Bill
it's not
Russell?
No.
Talking about Just for Men?
Yeah.
Not Bill Russell?
It's Willis Reed, Emmett Smith.
Oh, Doug Flutie?
Is it Franco Harris?
It's I think it's I don't know. It's Mean Gene Green.
Oh yeah, Franco Harris. But no,
Harris.
like my ability to recall this stuff is unparalleled.
It is unparalleled. That's why you like trivia. I would only do trivia. I would only be good at trivia if the questions were about what I'm thinking about right now. And I'd be great at it. Well, this beer is terrible. So that's the can art boner segment. It's some sort of bird in a bunny suit. There's strawberries. He's drinking Nesquik, but he's not really because his tongue is around the straw. He's not actually using the straw to drink. And also, there's been an overflow of Nesquik, so the bird is like swimming in it, but also has a cup of it. It's kind of like a Scrooge McDuck situation where you're swimming in money, but you're also putting a few bucks in your wallet for later. It's I will do it justice by at least trying to explain the flavors. The smell, it smells like the quarter machines at the grocery store. You get those little things that you like turn inside out and you put them on the table and they pop up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That's what it smells
Yep.
like. It smells like that. And it does have a sour taste to it. There is carbonation, which makes it more interesting, and I think actually adds to the horribleness, if that's possible. There's just a stinging at the back of the throat. I'm not sure where that sting comes from. It's got to be something in that sour part. The I don't know, the beer itself. Maybe it's the beets. I don't know.
So it's it's Keith Hernandez and Walt Frazier, not Willis Reed.
Oh, Keith Hernandez. Yep, I remember that commercial. Yeah, Walt Frazier.
Walt Frazier.
All right. Yeah, this beer's not good. I don't like it. I've liked Oozlefinch beers in the past.
And it's an Oozlefinch, so he put some effort into this.
There's definitely effort in this. I will say, you can taste the effort, but it doesn't taste good. I don't know if it's the Nesquik or maybe it's the strawberry puree. No, because you can taste the strawberry puree. I don't really taste the Nesquik. And I'm not sure how much Nesquik is in it. Is it one container per 100 gallons? I don't know. But it's man, this beer sucks. Oh man, it's just I'm trying to place a real good taste on it. It's just it's not Nesquik. It tastes like shitty Halloween candy. Anyone who gives you hard candy on Halloween, they don't like kids. That's what they're saying is, fuck children. I'm going to give you the worst candy I can. That's what this tastes like. I give this beer, I don't like it. 0.75.
Wow, that's wild. That's wild Ohio.
It's approaching Wild Ohio territory. I will not be able to finish this beer. And I've finished almost every beer, or I have I have not finished almost every beer on this podcast. I have finished more than half of them. But the reason
you
why,
finished, no, that's accurate. You finished most beers. I mean, we've done over 300 beers.
I wouldn't finish them is different than the reason why I'm not finishing this. If I don't finish them, usually it's because either we ran out of time or I'm trying to preserve some sort of, sensibility. Where in this case, I can't. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
That's it. What you got?
So I'm drinking for my next beer a Wild Minds. So I've got a fun story about these guys. No, Wild Minds. So you can find out more about them at Wild Mind, not Wild Minds, Wild Mind. But their website is wildmindales.com.
Wild Mind Ales.
This is Planetary Shoes.
Okay.
So that's the artwork. And it's a smoothie style sour ale with pineapple, mango, lime, and milk sugar. So the beauty of Wild Mind and what they do better than anyone. So last month I was up here for scooting weekend, and I used my credit card to pay for my beer. My wife got a $5 off your next visit coupon the next time that we went to Wild Mind. Now, here's the interesting thing. This is big data, and why I bring this up. This is doing your research, people. Mm-hmm. I have a big data individual right next to me. How did they get my wife's never been there. I've never used her credit card. Mm-hmm. How did they get her information? And I didn't enter any email addresses. And it even said, Stacy, for your next visit, here's $5 off. You just have to present this to the bartender.
Interesting. And it's
very interesting. Nope. It went to an email 10 minutes after I visited.
Oh, 10 minutes after you visited.
Yep. And it says for your next visit.
So it's
not eligible. So that's scary how accurate that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost accurate because it wasn't Stacy.
But I mean, I'm still married to her. Like,
yeah.
$5 off. I'm just looking at it right now. It was.
And you used your card.
And I used my card. Our cards are not linked. We don't have joint. We don't have joint cards. It doesn't. My credit card just has my name on it. Her credit card has her name on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that. However, it's linked through.
She's never been there.
There's a third party that's aggregating data, and at some point you either used your card to buy her something and sent it to, had her name on it instead of yours. Yeah. Or I honestly don't know, but that third party is only stuck. It's stuck with the information they have, which isn't enough to know whose card it is.
It took a snapshot at a certain period of time, is what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And the credit card information is harder to get than other things. So that point of sale, you'll have some sort of customer ID that just persists across multiple websites.
Right.
That's what's happening there.
And I've been to this brewery before, and this is the first time that this has ever happened. I used to go there for trivia. We talked about trivia before. When I would come up to Minnesota, it's probably the most frequent craft brewer I've gone to because it's the closest to where I work here. But
what's more concerning to me is that a brewery who should be able to generate interest on their own is using web information, basically selling and buying their customers' information, which bothers me.
Interesting.
Get involved in that.
So
business.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll drink while you drink. So hold that thought. I'm gonna do this Toppling Goliath strawberry shortcake Fandango, which you've had.
Oh,
buddy.
So
found a 4-pack of this at Arrow.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping this. So now the taste of my mouth is all coins. I'm hoping that the The coin flavor leaves my palate.
Taste it. Can you
I don't like it.
Can you tell what coins are in your mouth?
Yeah.
Like
I
the
think
value,
nickels,
the
probably
value.
Nickels.
It's
yeah.
it's nickels.
Probably 15 cents. Probably 3 nickels. So I'm gonna do this one while you do that one, but I'll let you obviously continue yours. Go first.
Okay.
Just
so
want to introduce it.
The beauty with this beer is, again, a pineapple smoothie sour, and it tastes like a pineapple milkshake with more of the tartness and the sharpness of so I wouldn't say there's a lot of sharp fruits. Pineapple's one of them, where the flavor profile of a pineapple is a crescendo. It's been in your mouth, but like that burst of flavor because most people eat pineapple in the form of chunks, that when you bite into that chunk, the surprise or the burst of flavor quickly subsides compared to like an orange or a grapefruit or something like that, which
sure
lingers a little bit longer.
Yeah.
This is completely accurate. The one thing and the one knock on this brewery for the longest time I went there, where they didn't cater to me, was they didn't go more into the sours. I was an early adapter to it. I know other people like Chuggalo Mikey was on sours and now is he's left, he's divested, doesn't buy them anymore. So I can understand that. They were late adapters because they just started up recently in the last 6 years. They were building their portfolio and their standards and then went into the experimental stuff. So off the top rope, I'm excited for this. I've been there a couple of times that they've had like sours or atypical beers outside of like your lagers, your IPAs, your saisons, sessions, all of that, Belgians. Excited by this. Off the top rope, this is one of the better pineapple beers I've ever had. 4.5.
Wow, great review. Very concise and short. I like pineapple. Here's some questions I want to run by you. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
I will never order it, but I won't stick my nose up to it.
What about burgers?
I would never order it, and I might ask questions if somebody puts it on my burger. But you got to keep in mind, when I do burgers, I don't eat them with buns.
Ah, yes, I forgot. Okay. Lastly, grilled pineapple.
I've had it. It's all right. It's not something I crave.
Yeah, all right. Got it all out. I like all of those things. Also, wouldn't order either of the pizza or the burger on my own. But if I went somewhere where someone was like, that's their thing, I would totally go in and order it.
Covered.
I don't know a situation where someone would make you eat that, but I'd be fine with it.
What if the pineapple was covered in green peppers?
No, I don't want that. No, I don't want green peppers. I don't want mushrooms.
You'll come around on mushrooms. It was a late life thing for me.
Well, maybe the pizza in Cuba was so bad that you actually just wouldn't order regular pizza. So you would either order the Hawaiian pizza, ham and pineapple, or the buffalo chicken, which did not have tomato sauce. Instead, it was buffalo sauce.
Yeah, barbecue sauce,
which is fucking awesome. Very spicy, very messy and gross, but awesome. Anyway, that was that, and they didn't know how to make pizza dough there either. But whatever they wound up doing tasted better.
Yeah.
Than the pizza you would get elsewhere. Same thing with Afghanistan. They didn't know how to make pizza, but they use naan bread.
Ooh.
And naan bread pizza is top tier pizza there. All right. Enough of that.
Unless you go to Herat, the Italians flew in their own pizza oven.
Did they really?
Yeah, in Herat, because when they took over control of the base, after your time, they flew in brick by brick their pizza oven, and Herat Italian pizza was fantastic.
So we had a restaurant that was technically all just local food,
Yeah.
Not for some reason. We know why. They had made this non-bread pizza a part of their menu because the soldiers wanted it. But apparently that was the restaurant that Stanley McChrystal, he would go once a week to Kabul. And we've talked about this before. What if I was on a convoy to go get something at the PX and I died? My wife would have just be devastated by such a stupid mistake that I made. That same thing with McChrystal. Why would you take that trip to get pizza? You know?
Sorry,
Seems like a stupid move. Anyway, he actually wound up being fired like the day after we arrived. That was interesting. This is Toppling Goliath. I have not had a fruity beer from Toppling Goliath. Period.
Really?
Everything I've had from them has been some form of IPA. Maybe there's fruit in some of those IPAs. I don't remember. But this is distinctly not an IPA. This is a kettle sour. It is a strawberry shortcake, as I said before, and it is macerated strawberries, vanilla whip, a crumbly shortbread finish. That's what they say. It's out of Decorah, Iowa. And that's all I can say about that Can Boner segment. This will, because I bought this beer, it's going to have to be brought to you by Chuggalo Randy Orton. It is a shortcake, but this looks like a biscuit from my experience. Shortcake would be, I guess it could look like that, but it wouldn't have such a dark, like crispy looking top. It would be more around the edges that the crispiness would take place. And it's got whipped cream. Another fun fact, I don't particularly enjoy whipped cream. I don't get it. It's not that I don't like it.
Whipped.
It's that everything it's on, it doesn't enhance. It doesn't enhance anything. So that's that. Can Boner segment. This beer is like a million times better than the afternoon quickie. But I can't rate it a million times better because that would put us at a score that's off the charts. This is just fantastic. It's so good. There's a little, I think it's the breadiness of that shortcake that's coming out at the end. That's kind of, I don't know what to say. It kind of dulls the strawberry whipped cream mixture, the strawberry whip. That's the best part. That's at the front of the beer. The back of the beer is all that breadiness. The breadiness is less enjoyable than the strawberry part. So I feel like there could be just a few things that make this beer, that pump this beer up to a 5, but I'm at a 4.5 on this beer because it's excellent. It's not perfect, but it's close. It's really good. A strawberry shortcake.
I gave that beer a perfect 5. It's
I remember.
It's in the running for one of the best beers I've had this year. I had it on draft.
That would be good, yeah.
So I didn't have the opportunity to take it from a can, which more times than not hurts a beer. I feel like because most brewmasters will tell you that's not the way it's intended. And then typically when you're on draft, the environment that you're in, I just went and reviewed my posting from back in February. Even the pub owner or the pub social director, the Gnome Pub up here in Minneapolis, because I had that beer. So it's kind of funny we chose that beer because you're having that beer while I'm still in Minneapolis. Toasted the comments and everything like that. And I just remember being blown away. I've had multiple other friends that have had the beer. All of us, much like JT, are well over 4.5 and above. Like it's just the beer is what it presents itself. There's no foreign things that aren't supposed to be there.
There's no lies.
No lies.
It's a very good beer. All right, now that the review has passed, I wanted to ask you to speculate on something, and then I'm going to tell you a real world example.
Sure.
we talk about NFTs, and it was always a conversation we were having that was unrelated to beer, but now it's related to beer.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you if a brewery were to create and market their own NFT, and for those who are unfamiliar, a non-fungible token is an NFT. It is basically digital art that you would own in some, like a limited number of them. Sometimes one, sometimes 100, whatever. They exist in the digital world, and you own it. You own the digital file. Now, that doesn't mean that people can't take a screen cap and own a
I know
piece
where I'm
of
going
it,
with it.
but they don't own the rights to the digital file. They just have a copy. Anyway, that's what an NFT is. It could also be music. It could be text. It could be anything, really, anything digital. If a brewery were to own or create and market their own, what should it be, or what would it be?
So for me, the first thing that I would buy and I would want and I would put on my wall is, even though it's digital, but like you said, screenshot captured or whatever, would be like the original incarnations for beer recipes. So I'd like to own truth. Like just the recipe. So just like the brewmaster scrawling on a piece of paper, like this much hops, malt, clarifier, all of that. Like, I think that would be neat. It would be a neat conversation. It doesn't have to be typed out on like a notepad file, but like if they scrawled it out, like just on a napkin or something, they were at one of the haunts down in Cincinnati or something. So like, if you go with like a brewer's staple, think of your favorite brewer, Chuggalos.
Yeah.
And if you could own the original like brewmaster recipe or impetus for that your favorite beer from them, I think a lot of Chuggalos would pay a lot of money for that.
Yeah, I think so. And that was my line of thinking with NFTs in general, is provide some historic rarity. Digital rarity that's historic. Like, I think you could generate a lot of revenue if you were to sell the original code from like Microsoft Office or something. Like the first ever code. Here it is. It's on the blockchain, so you can't. It's encrypted. You can't fake it. And here it is. Now you're the owner of it, because it's not like they don't have other copies of it, but you have the original.
Right.
That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, that's a good answer. The original recipe. So
that's the only thing I could think of. Like, as you gave me a long porch on that to like generate, and that's the first thing that my mind went to.
I actually like that a little better. So right now, Goose Island is one of the breweries that has decided to go into this. Yeah. And I was actually going to wear my 312 shirt that you gave me today, but then I remembered this morning I have a podcast to do. I don't want to, although I do have flags in the background, I didn't want to come off as like biased, so I didn't wear that today.
This is not what I wore to work today, by the way, just to everyone.
That would be awesome if you did, because that shirt's the shit. So Goose Island has done an NFT specifically for the Bourbon County brand stout, BCBS. And it is, as far as I could tell from the articles that I was reading, one of them was Chicago Tribune, which, if you're familiar, is fucking behind a paywall, like a bunch of asshats. I'm not going to pay for your fucking newspaper. It's not 1999. Like, make your shit available. It's just sell ads, you fucking losers. Anyway.
There's a way to like screen capture it below the paywall. So like you just have to go and like, I forget the way to do it.
HTML, right? You get into the HTML. Yeah, I didn't really feel like doing that. But that's a great idea. There was other websites covering this story. And from what I could tell, it is a digital image, like a badge. It seemed to be similar to Untapped's badges. Yeah. However, there's two catches here that make this NFT worthwhile, in my opinion. One, it comes with tangible benefits, like free beer. Or
I'm in.
They have autographs.
Way to bury the lead. We should put free beer at the beginning of the pod, JT.
Oh, we should put free beer at the. There's free beer, guys. I don't know where, but it exists. They autographed tap handles. I don't know, autographed by who? Probably Eddie Vedder, because everything since the Cubs won the World Series seems to be centered around fucking Pearl Jam. But that's a different story. And John Cusack. And then there's free Bourbon County stuff.
Yeah.
Did I say that? Yeah, free beer.
Yep.
And the tap handles. So the other benefit was I don't remember. Actually, that's it. I think you get the digital thing and then free stuff. So it's the other benefit was that half the proceeds go to charity. So it's like they're even saying, even though the legitimacy of NFTs seems to be like percolating, they're saying this is bullshit without some
tangible
cause.
Yeah.
Tangible and cause. Yeah. And so that's what they thought of it. I don't know. I like the idea of the recipe. That's a cool idea. And you're not supposed to print them, just so you know. The whole thing is you're supposed to have like a web museum that people can go look at.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to know what's in your museum.
Dumb.
It's like MySpace, top 8.
That's how I know I'm got somebody younger in my office that calls me like I'm not chuggy or a whopper or whatever like that. But whatever. It's the same way like I looked upon my elders or the next generation up or whatever.
Yeah,
like, oh, you didn't get this or whatever. Like, fuck it.
Yeah, like you're printing PDFs. Like, why would you do that? Send it to your phone. Right. Yeah, I get it. Print the NFTs. Yeah, well, that's the game I wanted to play. What would an NFT be?
You
nailed it.
And it's interesting because you're bridging gaps. Like we're reaching out to the Stevs of the world. That younger generation.
The younger generation. We're a tech podcast now.
We bridge. We have active listeners in their 20s. We have active listeners in their 60s.
That's true.
So we are all over the place. We know there's people on this podcast that know what 8-ounce pours are, and we know people that rely on that pint glass.
Yeah, and some just drink straight from the bottle.
Straight from the bottle.
Yep. Well, that's all I had. And I know you're a busy man. I don't want to keep you.
No, this has been fun for failing to plan is planning to fail. But in this one, this is just ingenuity. We made it happen. Yeah. We did a bunch of different beers. So just as a recap, Namaste from Dogfish Head, the Belgian Vite. Then I did Wild Mind, MIND, Planetary Shoes, and JT did.
Yeah, I did Oozlefinch, Afternoon Quickie, and Toppling Goliath, Strawberry Shortcake, Fandango.
And that's the thing. I'm going to have to put these in the spreadsheet once I get home. I don't have the most updated spreadsheet with me on the road. But so that's something that's going to bother me, and then until I get it done. So I know I'm going to write it down in my planner, just so good I know planner. I'm good to go.
All right. Well, that's it. Episode 188. Nice number there. I like that number. I don't know why. It's got a lot of roundness to it.
We're getting there.
Plump. It's a plump number.
Chugging along.
Yep, we're just chugging along, just like the Chuggalos. That's it. Episode 188. See y'all sometime soon. Bye.